have to move now to join the families of the deceased. As you know, that today they are commemorating 27 of them. Let me just introduce some of them. Sanbonan, thank you very much for your time today. Kukhunjulwa amaphoyisa ashonela emsebenzini umndeni ke isifikile njengamanje. Sicela nisichazele ukuthi nina lolu suku mangabe lifika nizizwa kanjani?
For me, it's even though it's not that much healing, but it's something because it shows what it meant to have someone like him in our family. And then as I see all of them here, I know most of them, they remind me of him, but it serves as somehow it's got a healing purpose here and there. Because I still remember what he used to tell me about his job. He used to say, my brother, every time when he would go to work in the morning, he would say to me, sometimes I might not come back, but you have to know that I will die a happy person because this is what I wanted. This is me. So he loved his job so much, and then he made us fall in love with this kind of job that he was doing.
You can just tell, for our viewers' sake, the name of the person, of the fallen police officer, and where he was stationed.
My younger brother, Mujale Faborele, was stationed in the Free State, in Balfontein Police Station. That is in the Free State.
I know it's a difficult question for you, but it was extremely difficult and emotional for you when you received the news of his passing.
Say, I almost got crazy. It was just this little. I couldn't believe it. Until I had to go and identify him, that's when I started beginning to understand that there's nothing we can do to change that. It happened. But I remember, yes, I remember he said that's his line of duty. Sometimes when he goes to work, he would say to me playing, be happy to see me now because you might never see me again. Okay. So it was like a joke, but those words are coming into my brain, and then it makes me start from the bottom.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, let me just introduce some of the family members. Thank you very much for making time for SABC News. And we are sorry for what happened to your relative. You can just tell us today, the first Sunday of September, annually, police remember those officers who died in the line of duty. You can just introduce yourself and just tell us the name of the deceased police officer and where she or he was stationed.
Okay, I'm Nikki de Toy. My husband was late Captain de Toy Wynand. He was stationed at Springs Police Station for 32 years. He was a very dedicated police officer, and we miss him. To relive that day when he passed.
And it was difficult for you to accept the passing of your husband.
Yeah, it's that call that we received that morning. You think your Sunday morning is going to be normal when you start washing, and then we got the call that he was shot. When we got to the hospital, I even climbed pavements. But when we got there, they said no, he passed on.
I know there are social workers within SAPS. Have they assisted you with counseling?
Reverend from Springs, he assisted us, tremendous, excellent. Until this day, he communicates with us. Yeah, it's hard, you know.
Would it advisable for you, or would you advise other people to go and join SAPS after what happened?
Okay, my oldest son is 24. Since he was a baby, or rather say when he was small, he said he wants to go in the line of his dad's footsteps. He even applied now. I think this will be now the 4th time that he applied. He applied now again this year, and he said it won't stop him to apply for the police because he wants to follow in his dad's footsteps.
How are you coping though?
I have to take it day by day. I'm trying to be strong for my 2 boys and the family, and it is hard. It's hard for them. They still can't accept that their dad's no longer here, but we are standing together as a family.
My last question, did they explain to you what happened, what led to his death?
It was a robbery in progress, so he rushed to the scene. As I heard, he even chased out a little boy out of the shop that was busy entering the shop, and they started firing at each other, and just around the corner of the shop, Wynand was set in the side, and one of the community members rushed into hospital. So yeah, I just want to say thank you to South African Police Service for all the assistance during these past few months. Wynand did dedicate his life to the police, and I just want to say thank you.
Thank you very much. Would you want to add something?
I would just like to thank my chaplain, Colonel Fregan Plaikis, for the support, constant support over the time. My dad passed in last year, the 17th of April, and I think since then the Special Services has definitely been checked in and been of great help. We definitely lost many heroes here today, and just seeing everyone come out and the aura in this place, it's a really sad and tragic event that we had to lose so many officers in the line of duty. My dad, definitely my hero and the hero of not only Atlantis, but of South Africa. We definitely will miss him.
What would you miss about your dad?
Everything. My dad was a gentle giant. He was definitely our pillar of strength in the house. He was the calmness in every storm, not only at home, at work, of what we have heard, and as well in the community. So, like I mentioned before, our loss is not just ours as a family, but the whole community. So, we'll miss him in every aspect. And I think now when we think back, or when we have achievements or even disappointments, we'll always think of him. What would he have done? What would he have said? How would it have been if he was present in our lives? So there's many things that we will miss, especially our dogs. I think our dogs miss him as well. Our pets, he loved pets. So it's a huge loss.
The acting minister is here, and the National Commissioner of Police, General Van Masimula, is here. Any message to them from you?
I would say thank you for arranging something like this to honor all officers that died in the line of duty. I think the death was definitely, or the loss of South Africa was definitely, it's something huge. So for them to be honored in this way, it's amazing. Personally, I don't have much to say, but I'm just grateful that all of us could be here and honor all of them.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. As you could hear, those family members of the deceased police officers who died in the line of duty. As I have informed you, that General Fani Masimula, the National Commissioner of the South African Police Service, is here. We have engaged with him earlier with Morning Live. We also engaged Acting Minister Firoz Kachalia, and we also engaged the SAPS spokesperson, Brigadier Atlenda Mate. I don't know if she would like to add something on what family members have said. Let me just go to Brigadier Mate. Thank you very much. You were listening attentively. So on what family members are saying, your reaction?
Well, this is exactly what we mean when we say they were not only police officers, they were fathers, they were mothers, they were brothers, they were cousins. But most importantly, you've heard from Constable Borele's brother, who said Constable Borele was a breadwinner. He died at the age of 21. He had only a year service, and he was taking care of his whole family, including his mother, and the pain that it causes family members. So that is why we are urging our members, do not die with the tools that we have given you. We have trained you. We have provided you with the necessary resources. We have equipped you with every necessary, tool of trade that is required for you to prevent and combat criminality throughout the country. If you have to act decisively, act within the ambit of the law. Make sure that you firstly defend the communities, but you also defend yourself, because your lives are important. But to the families, we, as you would have seen, we've got our chaplains that are supporting them. They've been supporting them from day one. Our chaplains fall under our Employee Health and Wellness Unit, EHW, where we have chaplains in the EHW unit. We've got social workers, we've got psychologists that provide your spiritual services. They provide psychosocial support for members. So we are there from the start of the career of a police officer, because we are not only available when there are bereavements or when police officers die. Within 48 hours of attending to a dangerous crime scene or a traumatic incident, police officers are bound to go for debriefing, and that is what is expected of them. So we do have these chaplains there to provide counseling services, to provide the support to the families. As I've indicated earlier, we've also got our SAPS, where we ensure that we take care of the educational needs of the children of the police officers that died in the line of duty. So we are saying this is a glimpse of what families have to go through, grieving families, waiting for answers, waiting for justice. Luckily, in some incidents, we have effected arrests. I think in the last, it's 2 years, 75 police killers were convicted to 75 sentences, 17 life imprisonment sentences. So encouragingly, we are working together with the Hawks that are investigating police killings and so on. But when it comes to arrest, I think in the last 3 years, more than 200 police killers have been arrested. Some are awaiting trial and so on.
Dludla, I remember when you were engaging the media at the Henops River, I think where police officers died. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they were coming from the Free State province. You've been attending emotional scenes. It's difficult for you and your colleagues. How much more difficult for the families, especially for those police officers who needs to go to the families and bear the bad news?
Look, and that's why I indicated that we've got our Employee Health and Wellness Unit. We attend debriefing sessions. Our psychologists, our chaplains, our social workers, they are available for us 24/7. We also, if we are not, some are not comfortable to utilize the internal, or they do not prefer the internal services, we do partner with our medical aid, Polmed, your GEMS and so on, so that we can utilize your psychiatrist, your psychologist and so on. So there is a lot of support that the organization is providing for every member of the South African Police Service, whether it's bereavement or it's members that require counseling for the work that they do. So our members are there 24/7, 365 days a year to ensure that they have the necessary emotional support to be able to cope with the work stressors, with their personal private life challenges and so on.
Let's talk about, before we close, let's talk about the new recruits here. I see there are new constables that have been recruits from your police college. Your message to them, especially I see they are attending such an emotional event, they are new at work. Your message to them now, they will see that most officers who died are constables, they are on their ranks. What is your message to them?
Well, I'll be very short because the Deputy President is arriving. But my message to them is to say, stay committed, stay disciplined. Don't forget what you have been taught in the colleges. And with discipline, with commitment, with dedication, you will go far in the police service.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was Brigadier Dludla Mathe. She speaks for South African Police Service. We have to wrap now because I'm told that the Deputy President, Paul Mashatile, has arrived.